else just like used to wrestling shows where we don't have fans? I mean, that happened really quickly, but because when I sat down to watch this week's episode of SmackDown, I knew there wasn't going to be anybody in attendance. I was like, yeah, cool, whatever. This is just what wrestling is in 2020. Who knows what it's going to be like in 2021, and who knows what it's going to be like in 2022. I look forward to when the aliens come down with their laser guns and, I don't know, shoot Roman Reigns and he just evaporates into dust, and that sets up the feud for WrestleMania 38. Don't know what I'm talking about, but my name is Simon Miller. Welcome to Ups and Downs, the show where we give the good bits an up and the bad bits a down. SmackDown's done, so let's up those smacker downs. So we are living in tough times, there is no two ways about it, and we just want to be entertained and we just want to be distracted. So, when former NFL player and Super Bowl winner Rob Gronkowski came out to the ring as if somebody had given him the wrong entrance in WWE 2K, I laughed my ass off. I'm sorry, it is getting it up. If you haven't seen this too, please, I beg you, go and watch it, because he comes out all normal, and then he's just dancing away, then he goes normal again, then he gets to the ring post and starts making love to it. It is simultaneously both the best and the worst entrance I've ever seen in my entire life.
Visual representation!
What? You want a visual represent? I'm not doing a visual. All right, fine. So it's like this. I tell you though, I needed that. It was like I'd entered some kind of surreal territory and my brain had just floated away. When he also got in the ring, he made Michael Cole look like he was 3'2", and that entertained me as well. Mojo Rawley did the intro and then smiled at Gronk like it was his best friend in the world, and then they kind of just shouted for a while. I mean, that's literally what they did. They just shouted. Gronk has been a fan ever since he was a child. Mojo is here because he is his buddy, so he's going to steer him through the terrifying waters of WWE. This pairing is going to divide people. Somebody was always going to interrupt because it is WWE and that's what happens. And somewhat surprisingly, it was Baron Corbin who was really mad at Gronk because he hadn't bowed down at his feet, even though Gronk only debuted around about 42 seconds ago. And Baron continues to take this king thing very seriously. What I did like is that Corbin pointed out that he too had been in the NFL and look how far he has come, so Gronk really should be riding his coattails. Gronkowski then stared at Baron Corbin as if he'd just farted. Honestly, the look on his face was like, and then Elias interrupted, and I was like, oh my gosh, even without fans, 72,000 people are just going to interrupt. As ever, Elias sung a song about Baron Corbin, and one of the lines was about how he was going to decapitate him, and he thinks that may kill him. Elias, my man, you need to go back to science school, or to school in general, and learn that yes, if you take somebody's head off their body, they will 100% die. I mean, somebody get a doctor in here and explain to Elias how life works. Baron stopped all this before Gronk and Mojo did that thing that bullies used to do in school. You know, one of them got behind Baron, and the other one pushed Baron so he fell over. And I got flashbacks and was like, I'm not really enjoying this. Before Gronkowski says, hey, I'm the host of WrestleMania, and while I can't wait matches, I want to see Baron Corbin versus Elias. And of course, before the night was over, we got Baron Corbin versus Elias made official. So Rob Gronkowski can make matches, but as we found out on this week's episode of SmackDown, apparently all you got to do is say a match and it magically becomes real. I will say that I mostly got through this thanks to the power of that entrance, but that entrance was so good, and I've watched it about 12 times, you just got to like what you like. It was then Daniel Bryan teaming up with Drew Gulak to take on Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura, so rack that up in the things I didn't expect to see in 2020 timeline. We have entered an alternate universe. Give it up. I'm pretty sure we were told that Sami Zayn's new group is called the Artist Collective, which is the stupidest name I've ever heard in my life, especially because when you break it down, that stands for TAC, and TAC ain't doing nothing. But all of this was negated and balanced out by Daniel Bryan and Drew Gulak warming up before their match, because they were like two dads getting ready for football on a Sunday. They are getting a round of applause. And everybody in this was top tier talent, so they just made it work. There's a really good bit when Daniel Bryan dove off the top rope trying to hit a crossbody on Cesaro, but he just grabbed him, and because he is the Swiss Superman, just slammed him down. It made me pump my fists. There was also enough noise from all four guys that this didn't feel as awkward as it did 7 days ago, and that was doubly helped because Sami Zayn on commentary, and he was just shouting his ass off. And as we have brought up commentary, I think we need to give a couple of thumbs up to Michael Cole. He basically carried this whole show by himself, and at no point did it feel that bad? He deserves credit for that. He's better than we say. I mean, he does do stupid stuff sometimes, but who cares? And it was more top rope shenanigans that did win the day, because after Daniel Bryan had made the blind tag, he dove off the top rope once more, and he hit the most devastating move in all of sports entertainment, the surprise roll-up, and he got the 1, 2, 3. I mean, I can't really get mad at that one, because it did really good, and he got the old sunset flip. But we'll bring the board down anyway. I think it's 16. But I don't have a clue. Like, some people tell me it's 22, and then some people say it's lower, and some people say it's high. That's not the point. The point is, we've already got too many, and it's only going to go up and up and up. We then got the announcement that over the next 3 Sundays, old WrestleManias will be airing on ESPN. And the only reason I tell you that is because if you don't think that ties into future pay-per-view deals for WWE big events, I would retrain your thoughts. And we also found out that it is going to be Daniel Bryan versus Sami Zayn at WrestleMania 36 for the Intercontinental Championship. I mean, sure, Drew Gulak has to beat Shinsuke Nakamura first on next week's episode of SmackDown, and that doesn't tie in at all. It's like, well, if this guy over here beats this guy over here, this guy right here will take on you, but I don't care. It's like a little bit of a puzzle. Drew Gulak versus Shinsuke Nakamura will be awesome. If I get Daniel Bryan versus Sami Zayn for the IC title at WrestleMania, I am a happy man. Look, it's also 100% going to happen because I could beat Shinsuke Nakamura on WWE TV at the moment. He always loses. Paige was then on the big screen via Skype announcing WrestleMania matches. What? Down. I didn't get this at all. I didn't get this at all. Firstly, we know how I feel about Skype conversations, and this one was really weird. It didn't flow at all. And yeah, why is she making WrestleMania matches? We've got Gronk doing it, now she's doing it, and her whole justification for this is that she spoke to the people of Fox. Why are Fox making WrestleMania matches? That's the network. You know, the Premier League over here. The Premier League over here is on Sky. Sky don't ring up in the middle of the match and go, oh, there's a penalty, by the way. And everyone goes, oh, yes, Sky will do it. And this was stupid. Bayley and Sasha Banks interrupted mostly just to yell at Paige for a while. So Paige was like, all right, fine. I'm now going to reveal your WrestleMania 36 match. Because, Bales, not only are you going to be taking on Lacey Evans, not only are you going to be taking on Naomi, not only are you going to be taking on Dana Brooke, but you're also going to be taking on your pal Sasha Banks, and that was cool. There's a bit of an atmosphere there. But also, Tamina will be in the match. Tamina? What? Why Tamina? Even Bayley was like, does she still even work here? That's my question. Where's Tamina been? And what did she do to earn this shot? I understand that we're in hard times, people, but so much of this WrestleMania card is just now random people walking up going, oh, I want to have a WrestleMania match. Tamina, I want to have a... Tamina doesn't have... She didn't deserve it. Also, I ordered the whole Better Than Tamina shirt. It never came. Damn you, WWE shop. We then showed John Cena versus Bray Wyatt from WrestleMania 30, and this was both very good over here and very strange over here. And it was good because, you know, if you're a brand new wrestling fan, you want to get excited about John Cena versus The Fiend. This told you their story, but it was strange because minutes earlier, Michael Cole had gone, hey, we're going to be showing WrestleMania 30 on Fox this Sunday. And then on Fox, they showed a match from WrestleMania 30. Either way, it's getting down. And the reason for that is because now I can get mad about John Cena winning here because it never should have happened. This should have been Bray Wyatt's big moment. This should have been the time we underlined that Bray Wyatt was a threat and people should have been scared of him. But the fact that he did lose just meant he was broken down and reduced to like an old farm dude who yells in a shed. That's what he was after this. Old farm dude that yells in a shed, talking all like, oh, when my soul comes out my body, I will infect your brain. You're like, dude, you don't win any matches, you suck. Really is where he lost all his mojo, not Rawley. And I got quite wound up watching this. Not true, actually. Quite enjoyed seeing wrestling fans in a crowd. Love WrestleMania 30, it's a good event. Still, throwing shots. Also, as you know, when WWE does decide to air old matches on new programming, we do wrestling jokes. Thanks for all the feedback on Raw. Now let's do it again. How does Michelle McCool sleep? Undertaker. Doesn't even work and it's quite crude. Why does Mick Foley always buy cheap cola at the supermarket? Because he loves a cheap pop. Right, serious one now. Everyone calm down. This is serious because before becoming one of the biggest stars in the world, The Rock actually had a heroin problem, but thankfully, he laid the smack down. Knock, knock. Who's there? Mike. Mike who? Mike client Brock Lesnar. Right, that's enough. That was terrible. That's terrible. Wrestling jokes. Nikki Cross was then super mad that she had been attacked by Oscar last week. And I was like, Nikki, you've had 7 days to get over this. You need to calm down and you need to do some medication. And then Alexa Bliss said, I want to have a fight with you next week. And that's what I do when I'm all wound up. and I find someone, I'm like, you have betrayed me and you have wronged me, but I do not want to fight you until 7 more days have passed, because only then will I be ready. And I never thought I'd say this, but WWE then did a DQ finish, which not only did I not hate, but actually thought was quite fun and quite entertaining. It was the Miz and John Morrison, the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, taking on Heavy Machinery. Get it up. And all this started with Johnny and The in the ring, taking the mick out of Heavy Machinery, the Usos, and the New Day. And I thought this was really smart, because what they did was they were in the ring, and then they cut to pretend fans, in the arena, which was just them dressed up as the New Day, the Usos, and so on and so forth. And this was WWE using pre-recorded footage, given the situation they find themselves in. More stuff like this. Also, their Usos impression was actually brilliant. When they were pretending to be Heavy Machinery and they were dressed as bacon going, "We have high cholesterol," I laughed. I'm a child. Went on a little bit too long, but the Miz and John Morrison are good. And this was a pretty decent match too, and of course tied into everything between Otis and Dolph Ziggler, because Dolph Ziggler walked out halfway through to his music, I give it to the world, I give it to the... And that distracted Otis, and Dolphy boy just sat down on commentary. As Otis was going for the caterpillar though, Dolph then jumped up, and he started showing pictures of him and Mandy Rose on the big screen, and Otis couldn't handle this. He lost his mind, and he started to kick ass. Also, what a piece of trash Dolph Ziggler is. This is like when you were in school, and somebody was able to get like a Super Nintendo or a PlayStation 2 or a PlayStation 3 before you, and they'd somehow worked it into every conversation. Be like, "How you doing, Brad?" Brad would go, "Hey, I was playing my PlayStation 3 last night." He'd be, "Shut up, Brad." Like, there was no need for Dolph Ziggler to do this, but he did it just to rub it in somebody's face. Like I say, it did send Otis through the roof though, and not even Tucker could calm him down, because he beat up Dolph Ziggler, and then when the Miz and John Morrison got involved, he beat them up too, including using a weapon which caused the aforementioned disqualification. But at least this one had a storyline reason, and I am a little bit worried about Otis. Like, I still love him, and I still have empathy and sympathy for him, but when you break this story right down, it is man didn't get girl, girl went with somebody else, and while the new dude is a little bit of a, not a nice guy as we said, he is now using violence because he's upset with the outcome. That's not really how life works, Otis, but I still think you are the best. Also, what a great life he is leading. He was allowed to beat up the guy who had screwed him over and use like a chair, and he didn't get arrested. Nobody even cared, but of course it meant that Dolph Ziggler cost Heavy Machinery the match. I'm sure at WrestleMania we'll get Otis versus Dolph Ziggler. Once again, add it to the what's going on in 2020 timeline. We then had another contract signing, which is mad to me. WWE kind of has free reign at the moment to be as creative as they want, and for the second time in 5 days, we just did a contract signing. Obviously it was between Roman Reigns and Goldberg, and this wasn't bad, but it was so meh. Down. And yeah, it was decent enough. Roman said that Goldberg was a fraud, and Goldberg said he was surprised that Roman Reigns had any balls, and then they signed the contract and they looked at each other for a while like, "Oh, we don't care about social distancing." And it was so quiet, you could actually hear the director on the screen. I know I'm touching my ear, you know what hearing means, but you could actually hear the director on the screen. And if you get mad about how many camera cuts WWE has, well, no wonder you do. I don't know what he was saying, but you could hear the intonation, and it's basically like, "Cut now, cut 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 now." There's too many cuts. Anyway, this didn't really light a fire under this feud, and we just did it to feature both guys and remind you that yes, the Universal Championship will be on the line in a few weeks' time. I think we could have done more with Goldberg and Roman Reigns. Whatever. Who cares? Which brought us to the end of another episode of SmackDown, and there were some highlights here, like Daniel Bryan was good, Drew Gulak was good, Miz and John Morrison, they had fun. And I'm still laughing about Rob Gronkowski. I'll never get over that in a million years. Just thank you, Rob, thank you. I needed a laugh, and you gave me one, and for that, I'm giving it an up. And yes, a lot of stuff is getting a free pass right now, but look at the situation we're in. I am just going to enjoy wrestling as much as I can, because it makes me feel happy in my insides. Now, don't forget to leave a comment below and let us know what you thought about last night's episode of SmackDown, especially Rob Gronkowski. I want to see the good and I want to see the bad. Then like the video, share the video, hit that subscribe button, just smash your mouse when you do it. Then head over to WhatCulture.com, read yourself some articles, follow WhatCulture on Twitter, WhatCulture WWE, and watch more videos here on WhatCulture Wrestling. My name is Simon from WhatCulture. I actually think it's 3 weeks tomorrow till WrestleMania. I don't want to make of any of this anymore. I really do. And Blood and Guts got cancelled. Not getting the Blood and Guts match. Not mad about it. Just sad about it. See you soon.